Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy, Coach Ja, in the building. Welcome to Coffee Time with Coach. Shay Black in the building. Just seeing you pop in. Lyrically Aware. Welcome to my show early this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited today. So excited. I have plenty of things to talk about. Um, you know, I'm gonna start being like Stefan. Stefan be like, when you're late, you're late. And everybody who's coming in here late, they're gonna be late. They're gonna miss the news, and it is what it is. 'Cause I don't have time. I've been burning to get this out. There's something that has been so deep down inside my spirit that I've been wanting to put it out there. And excuse me. And yeah, I'm dipping. I'm dipping. I'm dipping. I'm dancing because I'm a little excited, right? And so I can officially say Miss Josephine is in the building. What's good? Good morning to you. I can officially say out loud in this moment that Tony, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nope, you're not late. You're not late. You are not late. Because I'm gonna make my announcement right now. And whoever else becomes after this, they're just gonna be late. Because I can no longer contain it. It is official. I am the artist in residency for the Center of Faith here in North Carolina. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to get the okay for this position. They told me about a week ago and told me I couldn't say nothing until today. And confirmed that they could let me know today. My contract is set and done. All I have to do now, I even got my keys. So all I have to do now is show up and make my plans happen. The official start date is January 1st. And I have tons of ideas, plans, exercises, shows that's coming up. Thank y'all so much. I have plenty of things coming up for the inspiring writers and creatives. I have tons of things doing. So I've been busy. A lot of you have been wondering where I've been at and I've been what I've been doing, what I've been up to, and why I haven't been on the lives. But it's official. I am the official artist in residency. Very, very excited about that. Could not wait to get the okay for this position. And I got it. And yeah, man, we're about to do some big things. I have some amazing things happening. I'm going on a business trip. I'm leaving in as soon as the show is over, I'm going on a trip to take care of some things and set up some other things. There's some amazing stuff that is about to happen. I promise you this, man. All you gotta do is stay focused and build your team. Don't be afraid to have a team. Don't be afraid to allow people who are in the business world to allow you to help you grow your business. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Somebody has to teach somebody. And you have to learn that people come in your life for a reason and a purpose. And when they come in your life for a purpose, allow them in for whatever that purpose is and live through that. Karina, what's good? What's good? I thought I was coming your way, but I'm not. I'm going to where it's hot, so it's all good. But I'll see you next time. Definitely choose my friend Karina. She has a radio show. I think she's on 2 different stations, as a matter of fact, too. So Karina Delgado, make sure y'all follow her. She's a dope human being. She's a dope poet. I met her some years ago. She's back and forth in Charlotte, but she never has time because she got to see her family get out. But I think her son is a boxer, and I've been watching him win. I think he's undefeated, and which is also amazing. So that's what's up. That's what's up. Y'all make sure y'all follow her. Check out her show. I don't know if it's online. It's early in the mornings. It's early morning. Y'all know I'm not an early morning person, but support her because that's my people's, and check it out. Nothing open up here. And yeah, like everything is kind of shut down everywhere you go, but it's all good. I mean, it would have been good to see you anyway because I hadn't seen you in so long. So on the joint on YouTube, Tony is in the building, Mike is in the building. Nopo, nope. I'm gonna start saying Nopal. Like Stefan saying, no Paul is in the building. What's good? Listen, y'all. Dark Man Blues, what it is. Venus is in the building. Who else is up in the spot? Thank y'all for all the opportunity. I do have a guest for y'all today, but they'll be here when they get here. They got the morning has started off. It's Monday morning. We already know how that works. Monday mornings is always a potential chance for something to happen. Thank you so much. No problem. And so, so January I will be releasing 3 books. One of which I written with my brother. The other book is a special book that I'm releasing. I'm not showing y'all the cover. I'm not showing you how to cover. I was getting ready to. I'm not showing you how to cover. And then the other one is the masterclass book will be released in January. Um, that is the plan as of now. Everything is in and set for that, and I am excited about that. I'm excited about that. And so, speaking of that, um, no doubt, Nopal. Speaking of that, with the masterclass, because of the way, so I plan on having a lot of creative writing workshops. However, I'm going to do a lot of writing prompt series, and the writing prompt series are going to be really, really, really nice. Y'all gonna have a good time with that. Well, Juicy, I can't show y'all. Y'all have to see it on the other live anyway because it's on the computer, and then um, turning it around to the phone is going to kind of make it kind of funky. So, but I may post it. I may post it later on today. I might after I make get to my place. I may post it just so I can get a glimpse into my world. But I'm excited about it because I haven't done a book such as this, and I'm really excited about it. But I have tons of stuff to do. I have to design the other book. I'm still working on the design for the masterclass book. I have the basic down, just a few things that I talked about. Masterclass book, man, there's so many poets in there, and I hate to run off names because I'm sure if I'm gonna leave somebody out, but there's so many amazing poets that are in there. They started the journey with us. Those that turned their work in, because some didn't turn their work in, and are the classes available to take? Yes, that is a very good question, Shayla. The classes will be available to take. The master class, I'm working on. I'm trying to put together a package, and so the fees will be because there's several ones right now. I'm working on an 8-hour one. I'm working on a master class, which ends up in the book, and then there's a 2-day series that I'm doing that will be 2 days of master class working and training, and then I have some other ideas for some competitions for classes. I'm going to do a writing prompt once a week for once I move into my position. I'm looking at once a week doing a writing prompt, and with this writing prompt, people are coming to the Zoom, and what I'm not sure if I'm going to do. I'm probably going to bring them on this live stream, not just on IG, because of what I'm building. And so once we do the Zoom, I can either upload the Zoom and have the Zoom on, or I can bring them on the stream. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that yet, but I definitely want to leave it so it's not just an open mic, because you'll be sharing pieces that you've worked on for the week, and so I need some writers who are serious and who are ready for that. They will be online, obviously. I cannot wait till COVID is over, which also leads me to my next statement. So come June, there's some things that are going to be happening that's going to be so dope, like really, really opening up some doors for some things. The Poetry Festival should be in April this year again. It's probably going to be towards the ending. I'm going to try to push it out as far as I can. So what I would like to have, I'm going to look at my dates and try to set it up on that last day in April so that people can have, I'd like to have a competition for a 30 for 30 competition, and not so much of whose poems are the best or whatever the case may be. Correct, because April 30th is actually on a Friday, and if I can do that and set that up for them, that'll be good. And so I'm going to be looking for some sponsors to sponsor some folks, some winners, some writing winners, competition winners. I want to have first, second, third, and fourth place, and then an honorable mention. And the goal is to have all of those winners as some sort of prize winner. And whether it be money, whether it be some sort of publishing kit, whether it be you win a master class, you win some one-on-one coaching sessions, whatever it might be, I'm going to put those things together and really take care of some folks. I really want to do something for someone who actually that fifth place winner, the honorable mention, and let that be that, because there's a lot of people who don't get to when you're a writer and you come across, especially as a poet, I was saying, you come across to slam poetry, you get a lot of not always good information from other poets and stuff like that. And so I want the person who does not win per se to actually be in a position where they feel like they're going to get something else out of it. And so I'm looking at what the potential prizes could be for that, so that they can have really have a prize, really have something to look forward to. So I'm really excited about that, and I have a team that's working on some ideas with me, and looking towards sponsors. So, like, if you know somebody who might want to sponsor something like that, have a business or organization that they might be interested in that, please by all means reach out. The poetry festival is going to be so dope. I'm going to have some. I'm going to do a group piece slam there. If you're not familiar with a group piece is two or more people performing a poem together, an original piece. So I'm gonna have a group piece slam. A lot of people don't get to see group piece slams all the time, but they don't get to see group pieces. So I want to move away from just the regular, and nothing wrong with having that, but I just want to see. I like group piece slams. I like seeing 4 people on the stage at the time, 3 people, 2 people, and working their magic. So that's going to be so dope. And listen, for my masterclass people, those of you who are in the first masterclass, those of you who are going to be in the book, there are more books coming. I have a few projects that are set to go, but there's other masterclass books coming out. Every masterclass will end in a book. I don't. We're not going to do it just for the sake of doing it. So if you missed it, you missed the groundbreaking one, right? But also keep in mind that they're not free classes. They're not free classes, and I want you to think about it that way, because if you put your money into, I want you to definitely. I know you're ready, Mike. I know you're ready. If you put your money in, I definitely want you to be about your business. I want you to step into this thing like this is what you want to do. Let me put this up here because I was told to do this last time, and I'm just really excited about what's coming next, man. Like, y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand. This position in itself is just over the top for me. Like, I'm very excited about it, and I cannot wait to see. I can't wait to see what's next. I just can't. There's so much that's going to take place as I step into this position. And yeah, let me toast to that with my Giants cup. But there's so much. I got a package coming that I'm going to reveal when I get back. Some things that fundraiser that I have going on. I think that I don't want to just ask folks to give money. I want people to walk away with something. And so the fundraiser is going to be that people can purchase some of the merchandise that I have, and that will be part of what the how you donate to the organization. Granny's Boys LLC is an official business. It's not just a group, just so you know. And in the process of what we're doing, we need some supplies and things to move to the next stage. We're going to do some fundraising for that. Another thing, those who contribute to those who participate in the master class, a lot of those proceeds are going to go towards the things we need for Granny's Boys to continue as well. And so thank you, Miss Josephine. And so you'll see that we're putting in work over here. We're putting in work over here, and I expect to see others do that. And I'm hoping to inspire others to do so. I want to inspire others to do much more writing. Please, I always encourage you to listen to other poets, read other poets. What's the purpose of the organization fundraiser? Good question. And so the organization, Granny's Boys, we are, it's my brother and I. Granny's Boys is actually all of my brothers. And what we do is we teach creative writing and things that I teach people how to write their emotions and their life stories down. Here's what our belief is. If you can write it, eventually you'll be able to say it. And so a lot of times we're hiding from the different things that have gone on in our lives from middle school, even before then. But if everybody on this list can go back to middle school, you hear me say this all the time. Everybody who's on this live, everybody who's rewatching this replay, you can go back to a time in middle school that you've gone through something so traumatic, and don't know how to deal with it. And in fact, a lot of it you've never really addressed or said anything about. Sometimes people don't even know that you've gone through something, or they don't know how it affected you. And so it is my belief that once you get to write it out, you'll read it. And in reading it, you're actually saying it. And then as you're saying it, you can begin to build up the courage to say it out loud. And so I want to see the future look like this. Middle school age human beings don't have to wait until they're 40 and 50-year-old bitter adults that's challenged with things that have bothered them in their youth that they were unable to work through until they were old enough to say, man, I'm tired and I've had enough. I'll use myself as an example. I've been through so much traumatic things, even before I was shot. Before I was shot, I was stabbed. Before I was stabbed, I was kicked out a window. I was thrown down steps. So there's a lot of things that I went through at such a young age that I never got to address or never got to really pay attention to. I never zoned in and said, let me deal with this thing that happened to me. Instead, I put it in a compartment and I shoved it away. Well, when you put things in a compartment, all they do is stay in that compartment. They don't disappear. And you have to spend more time looking over whatever it is that you compartmentalize. Everything that you shoved inside, you have to look past it. You have to work around that. And I am now at 48 working through some things in my own way, but I'm still beginning to work through them. Well, why do we have to wait till we're 40 and 50? That means for decades, that means for at least 30 decades, I've been struggling, hiding things that I've never been able to say to some folks or say to myself or honestly look up to. Yes, thank you, Venus. Please support my YouTube page, Coach Josh Smalls. I'm going to put that down here in the link. Coach Josh Smalls on YouTube. Please, 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 please support my page. Subscribe. Help some folks subscribe to my page. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the year. I think y'all can help me do that. It doesn't even matter if your people want to come back on and watch the show, which I believe they will, but we're trying to get them to subscribe. You need to, we need to learn to address things that we've gone through. Brown Goddess in the buildings. We need to address things that we've gone through in order for us to succeed and be more successful. If you wake up in the morning and you're hiding so much from yourself, you're never becoming the person that you can because you're so busy trying to hide everything else that is already contributing to what's keeping you in a certain space. And so I believe with Granny Boys, we want to definitely help people through this form of art that we call writing, that we call poetry, creative writing, help them address those issues on the home front, at the home front, addressing them here. It doesn't matter how I tell somebody else if I'm not facing it here. I have to face it myself. So I have to face all the things that I go through, all the challenges that I have. I have to literally face them before I can move forward. Even if I tell you, if I don't want to face it and I don't want to, not necessarily own up to it, but I don't want to take that ride. I don't want to get on that roller coaster. If I refuse to get on that roller coaster, what happens is I stay stuck hiding the fact that I have this whatever this entity that's taking up this space. I neglect to admit that there's something there. And the only thing that does is allow you to put an umbrella or some type of blockage, and you're blocking yourself from what the greatest potential you could have, because you have to spend energy blocking this thing out. And it's not about telling the world, hey, this happened to me. It's not about that. It's about you as an individual living through whatever it is that's challenging you in that moment, that has been challenging you for so long. As adults, we know that things that we have been told, things that we've done, and things that had happened to us, we have not addressed. We just put them away. We keep them tight quarters, hidden from ourselves and everybody else. Well, guess what? It doesn't go away. And that's why trigger things, and it becomes so more traumatic. And then you have to run for shelter because we haven't dealt with it yet. So we're sharing the YouTube, our Facebook. So the Brown God is good question. And so you can watch on Facebook, but the YouTube page is more important for me. I'm trying to get the subscriptions up on my YouTube page. I'm trying to reach 1,000 by the end of the year. And so I got maybe a little over a week or so, something like that. So I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. So if you can help me by any means, please do that. It doesn't cost anybody anything to help me kind of trying to get people to subscribe to my page. Do you provide faith-based guidance in your organization directly? Good question. I do not. I don't. Well, I don't. I don't. Let's do this. I don't um, profess religion through our organization. I don't tell you that this religion is what you should go, or this is my religion here. I try to stay away from guiding people to a religious belief, because misdirection happens when people are in need or in help. And when you're in a service, unless I'm in a service to profess a certain religion or a certain faith, it is not fair for an individual, because I might have people at bay because my beliefs are different from theirs. And so I try not to go into that. I'm not a I'm not a non-believer, so I believe in the higher power, believe in a higher being, but spiritual levels are different. And so I don't. We're not a religious group, and we don't do missionary work and things like that. Because of that, we definitely need, don't want people to feel like, okay, because we believe a way and they believe a way, that they don't belong here. And I think that's a lot of what we've gone through because of the way we've been taught religion, which is a whole nother story for me. The way we're taught religion here in this country has always been wrong. Not that the religion is wrong, just by the persons who had taught religion to those who teach religion. And so religion has been spread by conquerors according to the history. No matter whatever scripture you believe in, conquerors had taken religion and professed religion. I don't want to be that. We can have religious talks and all of that. I'm fine with that. But we do not say, okay, we are this base or we're that base. We are brothers. These are my biological brothers. Most of y'all know my brother Witz. That's my brother who I am with, in this poetry thing. That's who you see all the time with me. But I don't profess or push people to a religious following, because I don't want to lose people who might need help. I'm not talking about religion. Religion is man-made construction. I'm talking about God and the powers of God. And shit. Well, and if you are a believer in God, nothing you do is outside of God. Nothing you do is outside of what God had given you position in. And so I was born a writer. I was born a leader. I was born an educator. That's obvious because I've been doing that all my life. And so if it wasn't for the creator, God, however you call him, if it wasn't for that being, that entity, that energy, whatever energy you believe in, if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the God I believe in, I would not be able to do the things that I do. I would not have that. It would not have been in me to do that, right? And so, of course, I speak of God all the time. Of course, I speak of being in the spirit, if you would. But it's a lot. Like the question is such a weighted question. I'm trying to answer it in a way that it kind of makes sense, because I don't walk in and say, okay, God says, you should do this, you should do that. And I'm glad you mentioned that too. So I'm going to use it as an example. And I want y'all to understand this. And this is for people who are embedded in your faith. That relationship with you and your God, with your creator, that is your relationship. That does not mean that somebody's going to believe the way you believe or accept what you accept. And that's fine. At the same time, if you are a believer, it is not fair for you to force someone to do a thing because you believe that's the right thing for them to do. That is not your choice. And I'm saying it because I've been in a few situations where people are saying, well, this is what I believe, and you have to do these things or have to do that in order for you to get cleansed or clean or free from this thing. That is not actual facts. You need to be, and I'm still answering your question, Imperial. You need to be well versed in what you do. And when I mean well versed, I mean in how you teach a thing, how you're trained to teach someone how to follow through with whatever that might be. Because people like to tell you things like, God put this on me to tell you this and tell you that. I'm not going to deny that. But if you are someone who practices a thing, right, there's a method to how you teach someone. There's a method to how you deliver a message. And you can't just say, oh, do this. You got to do this. If you don't do this, this is not going to happen, because that person may not be ready in that moment. And then you end up pushing people away. And our idea is not to push people away, it's to bring people in. Anybody who has been in our physical presence, my brother and I are speaking about, we're welcoming people in. When people leave from that point, that is on them. We don't push people away. We don't throw people out. people leave according to what doesn't work for them or what they feel is not for them. And then when people come with negative energy and bad energies, and that's another thing that I'm proud of too. I'm learning to control my energy. I'm learning to keep my energy safe. You have to keep your energy safe, especially in this work, because there are some people who come to me and mention things and talk to me about things that, I have to be ready for. And sometimes I'm not. Sometimes it's a bit too much for me. And I have to remind myself that, hey, I don't have to take on that energy, and that's fine. Just be responsible enough to tell that person and to remind myself that, hey, I'm let me help you get the help you need, because I'm not in the space to do that. You know what I'm saying? I left because it was time to go. Yeah, Mike, I mean, you ain't going nowhere, bro. You ain't going nowhere. And thank y'all for tuning in over there, and on all the messages. I'm trying to catch up to them. But the question was asked, do we teach, God and things like that? I believe that you teach God every time you teaching great things and you teaching good things and you're professing good things and stuff to people and for people. Anytime you're in that position, I believe whatever you're giving, that is a good thing and an ethical thing. Something, you know what I mean? Like you're going to be who God makes you to be. So I believe in that. They need to change the concept of faith-based, because that is a Christian religion concept. Say spiritual based. Very true, Venus. And that is another thing that I say about how we're taught religion here. And if you're a religious person in here, please, Kelly Little in the building. If you're a religious person in here, want you to really listen to what I'm saying and don't take offense to what I'm saying without understanding what I'm saying. And if you're a little confused, then please let me know, and I can help further understand if I'm not expressing myself correctly. The way we learn religion here, the folks who taught it and said, this is how you teach, and then passed it down, those are the folks that I'm referring to. The manner by which they taught religion here is not a full, even if you say religious concept, it's not. It's because they taught it on the basis of conquering. And that's how religion was spread across this entire. I'm not talking about what prophets or messengers that scripture speaks about. I'm talking outside of the men who took it from there and moved forward. Those men who moved forward were taking over territories. So it is here in this country, the United States of America. The people who brought religion here were people who were taking over this place. And so they've not changed how they teach, right? They might not say certain things. They've not changed it. It is embedded in what they teach and who you go get your licenses from. That's facts. There's no getting around that. And so we're taught in a way that doesn't profess religion, professes following the belief system. In fact, let's break down the word religion in case you've not heard this before. Religion is two words, re and religion. And so re means to get back. It means to get back. Re. If you redo your hair, you're going to redo it. You're going to do it over, right? So it means to get back. Religion means just God's way or God's path. And so when we say these things and we don't understand what the word means, we're losing it. We don't think about it. So if religion is to get you back to God's path, in actuality, you should not have to have a religion for your life, because you should get back to God's path and be right where you need to be, in Siratul Mustaqim, which means in the right path. Good morning, Tiffany. And so when you actually on that path, when you get back there, then you don't need to get back again. You can't get back to something that you're on. And I think we miss that because we don't understand the language. Again, because this is the way we were taught. What profits a man that's changed the world but loses? So right, Mike. And men have been, and when I say men, that's men and women alike. They've been about, how do I better myself always? How do I better myself always? Nothing wrong with bettering yourself, but when you bettering yourself at the expense of other people, that is not good. That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing. I got you, Mike. It's all good. And so all I want us to do, so getting back to the thing, indeed we talk God, we talk spirituality, we talk religion. We do not, it's not a thing that we initiate. Hey, have you heard the good word? We don't do those kind of things. We don't do that. We don't do that. In fact, we're so down to earth. I'll put it like this to you, Imperial. I hope you're still in here. I remember I was doing an open mic one time and somebody had said something, right? And this happens a lot. This happens a lot. And I'm on the mic and it might have been a slam, might have been between slams. But anyway, somebody had mentioned something and somebody started crying. And now I'm at the mic and I'm preaching. And I'm preaching, and I know that it was more Christian people in the audience, and I was not born Christian, and I'm not knocking it. Don't do that, because I hate when people say that. I'm not knocking it. What I'm saying is, I was teaching, and I remember that someone from the crowd asked me what church I go to, and I told them I was born Muslim and that I didn't go to church, or didn't belong to a church rather, but I did enjoy going to church. I enjoy good preaching anytime, right? And the woman was shocked and she was like, well, how are you so well versed? I said, that's the thing. If you study a thing, you should know it, right? I've studied the Bible a long time ago. I studied the Quran a long time ago, but we have to get to a point where we are no longer locked into this is the only way. I respect that because God is about spirituality, not religion, right? God don't know nothing about religion. And if they allowing yourself to be led by God, you doing the best. Right. You have to get to a point where what you see in the mirror reflects what the Creator created you to be. I don't get into all of the love thy neighbor terms and all those things in Scripture, because there's a lot of things that, you know, at the time it probably could make sense, but it's not going to always make sense. You can't love somebody that punched you in the face or shot you. I was shot. I have 4 bullets in me. I don't love the person who shot me. I'm not going to be able to love that person ever. I don't have that. You know, you tried to take me out. You tried to kill me. So you can't tell me, oh, the Bible says or Scripture says you should love and forgive and forget. How do you forgive somebody who assassinated you? How do you forgive somebody who actually? This happened when I was 18. Now I'm 48. How do I love the person who I've since that day can see gun flashes from the same gun every day throughout the day, in the middle of doing a poem, in the middle of having a conversation, and with the pain? How do you love them? Well, I tell you how. I don't try. It's not a thing for me. It's not in my mind. I have to heal me before I can think about being able to accept an apology from someone or anything like that. And so I think people misinterpret things because they don't understand it. And we blurt out different scriptures and writings and don't have an understanding of what that actually is. I think we do more damage to ourselves in doing so. And we have to learn that forgiveness starts at home. And until I can forgive me for everything, I can't even begin to think about forgiving somebody else for their things. And I think that's where we get lost. We're so busy externalizing who God is and what God is that we don't see the God in ourselves. That has been an issue for a long time for most people. Why? Because the way that we're taught religion does not allow you to do that first. Even in Scripture says God breathed into you, breathe life into you. So how does God breathe life into you and then God not be within you? And so we're so busy outside looking for this God presence and this God essence that we never look inside. And so you ever hear the saying, you got to work inside out? That's what it is. You got to work from the inside and let it flow out. And we don't do that. We're so busy on the outside. Okay. And I think that's, again, part of how we were taught religion here and why we miss it. Because we're taught by men who don't even understand the language. This language that we're using is borrowed language, and there's so many different languages trapped into it. So many different languages trapped into it that we end up missing it. We miss so much, entirely so much. In fact, we miss too much. And that's part of the issue I have with what religion is for us today. Music is my sanctuary. Mike, you listen, music can take you up and down, all around. Music has saved me plenty of times. Plenty of times. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Yes, we have to look into the mirror at ourselves. Absolutely. We have to look in the mirror. Exactly. Tony says, when we don't deal with trauma, it manifests and shows up in other ways. That is so true. We end up putting it into compartments, like I was saying earlier, and we keep it there. and we lock it in there, and we think it's just going to go away. We think it's just going to fade, but in fact, we do more damage that way. We do far more damage that way because we're just putting. It's like the wound is still bleeding, and you're just putting a band-aid over it, but it hadn't stopped the bleeding. The bleeding doesn't stop until it stops. You know what I'm saying? So um, we got to figure out what are those things that are keeping us from moving forward. We have to figure out. We have to dig inside ourselves and figure out what's keeping us from moving forward. And until we do that, we'll still be stuck here trying to figure out how do we move past the next thing, the next phase, the next whatever that might be for you. And too many times we're stuck in the idea that, this is it. Which is why I used to hate when people say things like, oh, I'm just born this way. This is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. No, you just put yourself in the worst situation you could ever be in because you already claim that you can't do any better. If you are breathing, that means you have a chance to do better. The only way you don't have a chance is if you're not breathing. Every day. That's why I end my show in such a way to tell people that. I tell people all the time, I challenge you today to be better today than you was yesterday. You can do something better today, right? No matter what it is. Even if you got to clean up, you can clean up just a little bit better today than you did yesterday. Why? Because you know where you cut short. You know where you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You already know what it is that you missed from the day before. And so when you look at the opportunity you have every day to do better, then you begin to look at what your options are, and you step out from there and you move up. And so anyway, y'all guest is here today, and I'm going to bring them on the spot because I could not wait till they got up in the spot. So let's see what's good. Illusion, what's good, mama?
Hey,
Good morning to you. How you
what's up,
feeling?
John?
You got it.
Huh?
I said you got it. It's your world. I'm just here.
Not, I mean, I'm so appreciative for you to have me here. It's been a morning, y'all. I've been trying to get here, and it's been a morning, but I'm here. I'm here. I,
Listen, they always say, the old folks used to say nothing before it's time. If you were supposed to be here
exactly,
early, you would have been here earlier. So whatever.
exactly. And I was, you know, they were like, when I was sitting there, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm like, just chill. Everything in its time. And I'm like, we had that conversation. so
Listen,
so we
we
were
talk about
like,
stuff like that
everything
all the
in
time. So that ain't nothing new between us. We always talk about
right.
stuff. So tell the people who you are, where you're
Right.
from, what you do, where you be, how you be, all that good stuff for those who may not know who you are.
So hey everybody who is in the comments, Mike, Kendra, all y'all. I'm Allnillusion. I'm from New Orleans, go Saint, and I'm a mom, a poet, a soon to be published author. Yay! I'm super excited about that. And I host a show called Gumbo Yaya. It's on Zoom, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it, to put it out there so more people can see it. And also, I'm just in the process of getting some things out, writing more, hopefully putting my book out soon. You know what I'm saying? Gotta get that
That's
done.
cool.
And
Um, talk to us about your show. Tell us a little more about it. What was the idea behind it? What should somebody expect when they come to your show?
so it's called Gumbo Yaya. And basically that came from when the ladies were in the kitchen cooking gumbo, they would talk, and it was called yayaing. So gumbo talk. I On my show, I work hard to bring out those topics that people don't want to talk about, all types of things. We first started with what was it, like how to calm yourself during the holidays, and some meditation tips. And then we moved to African spirituality, which was a really interesting show, and spawned some other stuff. I talked to, I think it was Emmanuel and Azar, about being locked up in prison, and like the effects that it had on them as Black men. So y'all stay tuned, because January 1st, I have well, I don't know if it's the first, but I'm taking a break for right now. So in January, when I come back, I'm going to have a really, really, really interesting topic. So y'all look out for the post, the flyers, because I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, but y'all will definitely want to be here in that talk when that one comes about. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, that was just the whole thing. I wanted to be able to talk about things that we as people, for one, and as people of color in our community, we really have a hard time talking about, and
Mhm.
things that, we need to have these discussions on, but nobody wants to bring it up. So, of course, me being me, I'm going like, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm like, I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna put it in your face, and I'm gonna say, hey, you know, we need to talk about these things. So
Yes.
that
There
was
is
pretty much.
every time you say gumbo yaya, I just go back to the movie Eve's Bayou. And what it
Oh,
is,
that
it just reminds you of how far we are from what we came from. You know what I
right,
mean? When I look at
right,
Eve's Bayou, I watched it again. I want to say last year, and I watched it again, but I watched it through different eyes now, right? And I'm hearing through different ears after really learning some things. And there is such a magic in just being in that presence and having. I want to walk along the bayous, right? Like you should want to feel that experience because that's the closest you're gonna get to being home until you go home. And so,
right.
talk to me about how it is living in that area.
New Orleans is one of those places where, I mean, I love it. I have a love-hate relationship with New Orleans because I love everything about it. I love the culture. I love the layout of the city. Like the architecture to me is absolutely unmatched. We
Mhm.
have a French, Spanish influence. So I tell everybody all the time, like if you're on Canal Street, which is like the main street that divides down, it's like downtown. So on one side you have the French quarters, and everything on that side of the street is all French name, French influence, and then you have the other side, which would be more towards the uptown side, and all of that is Spanish influence, and the names, reflect that. But I will say, like I said, love-hate relationship, but I don't like politics here. It is pretty much probably the way everything else is, you know where's my money in my pocket for the politicians, and not caring about the citizens. I mean, we are number one in prison and absolutely last in education. So it's that, those are the things that I don't like. Like, we have the opportunity to be an amazing city. We're right here on the water, like we're a port city, for
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
So, and then we're a tourist city, which brings, we have more events here than, I think yesterday when I was watching the game, they said that we've hosted more Super Bowls than any other dome, like in any other dome, that we've hosted more Super Bowls. So, right. So it's like we have the potential to be much better than what we are, but folks don't like to, they don't like to take their hand out the cookie jar and like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like slap them. We need this money. We need, things built up. And this is one of the things we need, not only infrastructure, but we also need things for the children here to do. Like, our children are getting into so much trouble. It's ridiculous. They are breaking into cars. It's, because there's no outlet. So,
yeah,
with the help of some people that I know, those people that I don't
yeah.
even know which way I'm pointing, because I can't, like, you're the opposite way on the on the thing, but with the help of some people I know, clue clue, I'm working towards trying to bring these arts to the children, because I really do believe that once, with the children, they need creative outlets. They
Yeah.
need things to be able to do, so they can get all of this out, because it's not like, it ain't that they want to be around here, driving people or jacking cars or just doing, crazy stuff. They got a lot in them that they can't get out. And then we are, in our city, we have a lot of children that are born, well, maybe I would say, yeah, that's about right, because Katrina was 2005. So we have a lot of children that were growing up during that time, and
Hmm.
they PTSD. That, I
Yeah,
mean, like, our entire city. If you lived here during that time, you are suffering through some type of PTSD. Dealing with that. So the children are definitely dealing with it, and then things are just, our whole way of life got interrupted and flipped upside down. So it's kind of hard to be a child going through that and growing up, and and teenagers, hormones, just the whole nine. Like, I'm quite sure it was really hard, because it was difficult for me, and I was an adult at the
Yeah.
time. So, so it's just that's what I'm hoping,
Yeah. I
that
saw.
happen. I am not gonna say hoping. It's gonna
It's gonna happen. Like I said, well, anything that I can do, what I'm saying, we make it happen. That's not even a question, because I'm about my
happen.
people.
Right.
I'm not gonna fool around with that. I'm about my people, and it's a way to make things happen. I watched the documentary. Did Spike Lee do the documentary? Somebody did the
When the
documentary.
Levy group,
Yeah. And I tell you,
yeah.
there was so many tears. Like I get emotional just thinking back to it. And I think what we're missing, what we're not understanding, is exactly what you said, how rich that area is and how important it is for us. Because there's so many black people there that we miss it. And we don't
Yeah.
own, we can't get no fish imports. We don't own shit. And that's one of the
Right.
biggest things. Like, we don't own anything. If they cut off the ports, then black people don't eat, because we don't own
I
nothing
mean,
to
that's
bring.
true. Right. Like that's absolutely true. So, building that up, and just making sure that, that people's ways of life, because like here, and not necessarily right here in New Orleans, but a little bit in a lot of those places that are closer to the water, we got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shrimpers. And they go,
Mm-hmm.
like the people who catch the seafood, this is their way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how they make their money. They go out during those seasons, and and they haul in everything that they can, make up their money in within that month, and they live off of that until it's, time to do it again. So it's like, if we don't have, all of those, if ports aren't open so they can, come and sell and get
Yeah.
their products out, because some of them ship and stuff like that. So if that stuff's not open, or if there's no way to maintain your way of life, then what are you going to do? I mean, unemployment only go but so far. And it's just not you can't live like that. Like, folks really, they can't live like that.
Yeah.
But
That's
that mhm.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were saying something. No, I was going to say, when you were saying about the documentary, also, my cousin, she did like a documentary as well, based off of our family. And I
Mm.
think I was telling you about that, because I'm trying to figure out how it's on Vimeo.
Okay.
And that was, the Spike Lee thing, was, I liked it, and I'm saying, because I thought he did a good job. But I think for me to see something that was a little bit more personal, and to see, like, my family, she documented how we went through everything. And the part that, y'all, like, this shit still tears me up, y'all. So if y'all see a little thug tear, drop, thugs don't cry, but y'all see that teardrop. But, like, so during that time, my brother, everybody, like, my family ended up leaving. But my neighbor and, I think one of a cousin or something, they stayed.
Mm.
And no, it was three of them. It was three of them, and they ended up staying there. And they say they heard some, like, a loud noise, and then they heard whatever, like something rushing. They go step outside, and there's this wall of water just running down the street. So they run from their house over to our house, and we had a two-story. So they go, in the house, and it's like, by the time they, realize what was, not so much realize what was happening, but, like, by the time they end up getting in the house, the water had already started to go up towards the second floor. So they were
Mm.
stuck. And they got my brother's video camera, and they videotaped it, and she put that in the documentary. And when I sat there and I looked at it, and I saw my entire neighborhood looking like a lake, it was like, I couldn't do anything. And I was like, I'm sitting there on the floor, because at that time I was living in DC, and we were watching it, and I'm like, this is so unreal. Like, I don't know if anybody would have ever, you can't imagine that something like that would happen. Like, you can't imagine that you would leave your house, and then or leave your city, and then you come back and nothing's the same. Like we were driving in trying to make it to the house to go see it after the water had gone down, and it was like, okay, wait, what street? Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, are we on the right street? Now I'm grown up there, lived there my whole life, and I'm like, oh, we're on the right street. Like, yeah, because everything was everything was just disheveled. Houses were moved off of foundations. I mean, it was crazy. So I'm
I,
gonna find that.
yeah, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Because I'd like to spend some more time talking about this. I had a special thing I wanted to do tomorrow, but let me ask you this. I'd like to ask you two things. If you will come on tomorrow so we can talk about it a little more, so we can talk about that in depth and see if you can get in touch with your cousin if they would like to come on. I can bring both of y'all on actually. And let me know
Okay.
if that.
And look, I was gonna hook you up with her anyway because that's the one that was in the movie Ray. So and I was
Okay.
like, oh, he is a Jamie Foxx fan.
Wait a minute.
So
Wait. What part she played?
she was the one who played Pat Lyles, the tall light skinned girl, and she was the one who said, "I got the shivers in this studio."
She was one of the Raylettes.
Yeah,
No, yeah, because yes. You tell her I want her on this show. Listen, that's my movie. I can
I'm a,
quote that whole movie from beginning to end. I even walk around like Ray Charles when the shit come on. That's just what I do.
you know what? For some reason, I have this picture in my head, and I see it, and I I can't
Oh,
unsee it now. But I'm
listen,
I'm gonna call
I'm
her.
a, one day I'm told you I'm a set it up. I'm a model an outfit for y'all, and then I'm gonna do my Ray Charles walk for y'all. That's what's going down. That's what's going down.
Done.
But definitely because I know we only got like 9 minutes left. But I know tomorrow I was gonna do something else. But I would because I want to bring you back so you can have the full hour because there's a lot that we can talk
Okay.
about and stuff like that. But if you can do it tomorrow, let's do it again tomorrow. And if she can come, that's cool. But if not, I want to. And so like I've heard stories about it. I had a friend who when I was the athletic coach for the semi-pro football team out here. I had one of the quarterbacks. He lives out that way. They had a house out there.
Uh-huh.
He said they was coming across the bridge. They went to get their motorcycles. They was coming across the bridge, and people was just. It was first. It was 4 people. Then it was 12 people. Then it was 35 people. Then it looked like a sea of faces. He said, "Look, we just got off our bikes and left the motorcycles right there on the bridge. Because what was we gonna do?" And then he
Right.
said, "You could see the helicopters flying right over their head and dropping shit off where the white folks lived at, and didn't drop nothing off where they were." They saw that, and like that shit. I'm not surprised, but it hurts to know that this is where we're at. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
talk about that.
yeah, my even one of like the neighbor that and that like that's like my little brother. Like our parents were in the military together, and he was military. And he
Mm,
said they came over the house, and he was like the guy, like they were almost eye level, and he looked at him and they turned around, like they didn't even pick them up. And he said that to and it's in the documentary. He said to know that I served in the military just like he did, and all when and he said it just like this. He said when he came down and he looked at me, he looked at me like I was just a nigga, and not even knowing who I was, and not
wow,
even knowing that I was, one of him, like I served too. And they didn't even pick us up. Like he said they came back, I mean, like maybe a day or two later to come
wow,
get them. But, I'm like, why not come get them now? It's
yeah,
like I mean, it's you in a lake of water, basically. Like
yeah,
the only thing that they could do, they couldn't even get food because the refrigerator was downstairs and they didn't think to grab anything, you're running in
right,
the house to get away. So yeah, it the whole thing, it was like from beginning to end. And I'm saying, because so I say this all the time, like people will always reference Katrina, and they'll say things and they make sometimes people will make jokes and not
mm,
understanding, like we get pissed, like you
yeah,
want to piss us off, you want to make me punch you in your face, say something off the wall. What I'm saying? Like I understand certain jokes because we'll make them too, what I'm saying? But it's just some stuff that it really is sensitive. And this is, 15 years later, and we
yeah,
still are, because our city is still feeling those effects. Like we have not come back. That, you could You could put up how many hotels you want here. You could do a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? You can clean up the French quarters and make it look pretty. Put lipstick on the pig, but that's all you're doing. It's just and just doctoring it up, making shit look good. When you have tons of houses that are in the Ninth Ward and in the East that are like, I mean, they're ratty. Like nobody came back to get their property.
Wow.
People's property has been straight taken from them. They have gentrified so much of the area. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is crazy. There is so much to add to that type of. We were consumed with it at the time. In fact, I met a few barbers who came here, and one of the guys was making jambalaya, and he was selling at the barbershop because he said, listen, my family, we just here. Somebody just happened to let us stay in their house. They just came because they didn't have nowhere to go, and they came to Charlotte. And then some of the people were, one of the guys ended up, he was a barber. They gave him a free barber. They said, listen, you can live there. You don't got to rent free. You can just work in that chair. That's your chair. And people would line up just to go and get a haircut and help them. So some people stayed. I met a few people that did stay. They never went back home. But I'm just thinking, like, they had to give up everything. They lost everything. And that was, we was consumed with it. Like, just to know what was happening and why it happened, right? How they let the shit happen, how they made it happen was crazy.
Yeah. That's a discussion for tomorrow. That's
a discussion for tomorrow because we're going to need, right. We're going to need time.
Yeah. Bring your drinks, y'all. Bring your drinks. I don't care if you don't drink in the morning. Bring your drinks, okay?
We might end up starting on the morning show and then shutting down so I can let the next show and just jump back on just to keep it going. We might have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
let's do this because we only got like 4 minutes left. Tell me your top five artists, no matter what genre. Give me your top 5.
Jill. See, I hear you ask this question all the time, and in my head, I was like, okay, I got this. No, I don't, because I love music. So I love music so much. Like, I would just sit there and listen. So I'm like, definitely Jill. Anita. Gotta have me some Anita. Oh.
Yeah. It's always hard when it comes.
I know, like it. Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in it. That's one of those questions y'all just don't like. You could say we running it off, but that's one of those, because once you're sitting here thinking, it's like it's so many damn people, and I'm like, my absolute top 5. Like, I don't want to say, and then because I'm like, I'll listen to you, but are you really like my favorite?
Right, because you might be my favorite today, but when I wake up in the morning, I might have a whole.
Right. I'm like, wait, okay. Or either somebody else will come out and it'll be like, because I listen to so much music, and then people will send me stuff and I'll hear it and I'm like, wait. So I go listening to them and like I'll play a whole CD of somebody, like brand new. Yeah, and I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna tell you a song today, a single today that you're not gonna believe came out right before COVID came. You're not gonna believe this group dropped right before COVID. You're not gonna believe this is not a group from the 70s. I'm sending it to you today. Text me when we get off. We only got a minute left, so let me close this out. Hold on, don't go nowhere. Hold on tight. Thank y'all for tuning in, Coach Ja. You know what it is. Every morning we are here from 10 to 11 Eastern time. If you're someplace else, my timing is off. It ain't 10 to 11. It's 9, it's 11, it's 3, it's whatever. Anyway, thank y'all for coming in. We will see y'all tomorrow. We're going to come right back here. I'm going to bring Illusion back. We're going to go through all the New Orleans. We're going to talk about that New Orleans stuff, baby. We're going to talk about all that. It's going down tomorrow. Y'all stay tuned. I challenge you today to be better than you was yesterday. You have everything you need to be fantastic and super today. Start by looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you are worthy and you deserve the love that you're supposed to have. Love yourself, and that will teach the world how to begin to love you. We will see y'all tomorrow, same time, same channel. Peace and love.